I'm going to talk a little bit about compression.
When I'm mixing these as I would a drum kit. I'm trying to mix them, at least for this instrument, I'm trying to mix them as sort of naturalistic as possible. So, one, they're flexible to then fit into a wide range of material afterwards. You can apply more compression to things, more EQ. And I'm using stuff mainly just to sort of bring out qualities of the source material that I've recorded.
A sort of method that I used to use back in the day when I would make stems. So what you ideally want when you create stems is a mix that can come together with separate elements. Now that's really difficult when you've got stuff that you're sort of relying on summing, compression. And so when I've mixed these, I've mixed them through submixes and folders, but obviously when I deliver them, I'm delivering them as separate, but I still want that tonality of the compression. So the way that I've achieved this, I'm sending the audio pre-fade post effects to my compression sidechain.
So rather than the key of a compressor being the sum of the material going into it, you use a key, a sidechain key to do this from those channels. So let's say I've got like my overhead 1 channel, my overhead 2, and it's all going into an overall overheads bus, or like multiple room mics, for example. Rather than those multiple room mics going into that bus channel, and that's what feeds the compressor, because then if I solo each of those microphones to export the samples, you're going to get a different kind of compression. Like you'll hear it in isolation and it'll sound great, but then that timbre is going to be different when you solo those tracks because it's not getting the same sum. So you take a pre-fade send and that then feeds that bus compressor via the sidechain. So if you solo a track, it's going to compress the same amount as if it's summing everything together, but you're just getting that effect on one channel, that when you put those faders together in the instrument, they've got that cohesive compression sound, but they're completely separate. So you can mix them, you can do whatever.
When these are soloed, I'm going to get the same amount of compression, even though only one of the elements is going in. So the tonality of the compression remains consistent, but we've now got separate controls over everything. Sounds great, doesn't it, that far room? We got there in the end. Overheads. Yeah, it just means that I can have the same amount of compression regardless of what's been soloed and played through. So that sound remains consistent. So that tonality of this, which is a great sounding compressor.
It's very cool. It's a little bit fiddly. It's also a similar process to the way people do stuff in Atmos, where you're dealing with object-based mixing.